Welcome, everybody. Human Engagement Commission meeting. It's Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. Happy New Year. 6 o'clock. So I'd like to call the meeting to order and do a roll call. Commissioners, Aaron Asmuth,
Here.
He's nodding.
Nodding, yeah, okay.
Summer Darrell,
Here.
Mark Saba,
Here.
and we have a new member, but there's two people need to be excused, Bill Norman, Arlene Fisher-Maurer, and Cynthia has not said if she's coming or not, so I'll say that she put her on the did not show list for now.
I make a motion that we excuse Bill, Arlene, and Cynthia from tonight's meeting.
Where's Jennifer?
Okay. And no Janet.
Oh, sorry. I'm caught up. Good.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
I'm assuming Aaron said aye.
Okay.
He had a thumb up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, just keep on letting us know.
You're so quiet.
Okay, approvals tonight for the agenda. Any modifications?
Well, I would like to know what exactly, are we gonna be able to cover everything tonight?
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
Why don't you take that?
Robin, then.
I was probably thinking that we could not maybe cover, I don't think we'll be able to cover, and we'll have to come to those items and table and continue.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's
Well, wait until we get to them, okay.
Yeah, that was what I was planning, because I know the weather is really incremental and we don't have the whole group here. So I think.
Well, I was just looking at strategic planning, and Mark and Cynthia both aren't here, so
Exactly.
that's what I'm.
And
And some of those items, I think, benefit from having in-person interaction.
Absolutely.
yes, and that's what I think too.
Yeah.
So with that said, agenda approval.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving forward to the minutes of December 20th, 2023.
Didn't see anything now, the voting hearing on
I did not Nick either.
it. No, I make a motion that we approve the minutes from, the December 20th, 2023 meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public comments, anybody, either online? There's no one in our audience, so.
Tom out there?
Tom is our only,
Was Tom on top?
non-CDC participant.
Keep up the good work.
Tonight, okay?
Let's see anything.
So here's one item on number 5 on introduction of our new member, Arlene.
Table.
Back to table and continue.
Yep, let's table and move on. We'll do it for next meeting.
Perfect. City Hall updates. So everybody got a chance to, David gave us a copy of those.
Yep.
And they look complete to me and I don't have any questions.
I always like to not have anything to add to that, but I do from last night's city council meeting, that's of interest to this group. They were discussing about workshop topics coming up, and Mark McAvoy suggested the joint workshop between CDC and city council, and right now they're looking at eyeballing a March 5th date for that.
March 5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one,
Yeah, and that was on number 8, discussions in business, discussion items for upcoming workshop with city council. So that will be on March 5th, 2020.
Okay.
and then the other item, which I think Mark will be pleased to hear, it's something that he's advocated to me in the past. There was discussion during the workshop hour of we don't know if it's gonna be, could be an ordinance, could be a resolution, something along those lines, to possibly have, city commissions, boards, councils, groups to have their minutes and related, or their agendas and related things posted possibly 72 hours before a meeting. Not the state required one day ahead, but that would give, folks like you more chance to see things. I think, I don't know where the proposal started from, but the original idea they were talking with was 5 days. And now they're kind of looking at 72 hours. Nothing is set in stone yet or anything, but it's just the initial starting of a conversation on this.
72 hours sounds better than 5 days, because 5 days could be, you can end up making amendments to
Things
it.
can change.
Yes, exactly.
I think for that, I think that we need more than 24, but I agree with 5 days would be too
Yeah,
much, so
72
74
or
hours.
3 days, that'd be good.
So I'll keep you updated on
Okay.
what happens with that. There are a couple of different rules regarding whether it's an ordinance or, what was the other word? Like a policy. Ordinance is like really more set in law. So we'll see where that goes, or resolution is the other one.
Right, right. Okay,
Okay. Number 7, strategic plan community survey. So the updates, Mark McAvoy and Cynthia Godinez, since they are not here, I would ask if that could be a possible subject matter we could table and continue.
I could actually give you an update.
Can you?
okay,
Just to keep you
Okay.
informed.
but I'd like to table it. Can we
Yeah,
still
well, certainly,
table
yeah.
it for the next meeting too? So,
Yeah.
because Mark and Cynthia probably have input also.
We can continue that.
Go, David.
The, looks like the surveys, the initial letter, we're looking at having it mailed on Monday to 660 residents. And then the target is about 1 week later, the physical survey will come out. I don't know if I have a copy. It came out to be about 3 pages front and back. So it's fairly more compact than the,
6 pages now?
yeah, fairly more compact than the like 100 questions we were initially looking at. It's like less than half that now.
Okay.
With a QR code for people to have the option of doing something on Zen City. I've started the layout for the Zen City online version. And then probably around, let's say roughly 3 to 5 weeks after the survey goes out, there'll be a reminder card coming in to people who have not responded, and we'll have a way of knowing which ones have come in yet or not. So we know who to send those cards to. But yeah, process is starting early next week.
Is the survey complete? Is it ready to go? The reason why I'm asking-
It's not, I'll say this, it's not 100% finalized, because I noticed an error on the draft even today.
So when it is finalized within the next week, can we each get a copy of it?
I can ask Mark about that, yeah.
I think it would behoove us, because if we are on one of the 600 on the list, you know.
You may be.
Well, it's not only that too, I agree, but we needed, or we were gonna do some type of message points, because
Right,
You'll be getting, yeah.
now on the work plan, that sheet that I wrote, I just called it work plan 2024. You know, what type of I even put on here, strategic plan outreach, because we need to have, I think, those orchestrated types of components set down so that we know the date, what we're supposed to say, because, for example, Mark, you know the Kiwanis, you know the Rotary, you need to do those message points. I work a lot with the Friends of the Library, and so that we
Good
can give,
president.
well, so that I can give those message points to those people, so, and explain the importance if they receive this, because there is a chance that somebody from the Rotary, somebody from the Kiwanis.
Yeah, they're gonna,
to-
someone's gonna ask questions, yeah, and if we're sitting there going,
We don't want to be in
we
that.
don't wanna be doing this, and, you know, especially.
I understand, yeah, I do understand when, because, and I think that, and I've heard this before, and Mark talked about it a little bit at the library board trustee meeting, and I think at the city council, it was mentioned last night, bit, but how it's just gonna get started soon. I think there needs to be an outreach type of plan, so we know the message points and what to tell people and how to bring that to our own.
Because wasn't this supposed to be generated out of our commission?
See, I thought it was.
I thought this was out of our
So is
commission.
this, yeah, and that's
It's,
why,
it's really more of it's more generated out of the strategic plan.
Yeah, but they're still using Zin City, isn't that under the, I don't know, that's not, but it's under the city, but I thought, okay, yeah, it was my understanding that any surveys that were conducted out of this commission.
Let me consult with, city administrator on that.
Okay,
I could provide an answer, but I don't want to be wrong.
yeah, I know, I'm just assuming, because that's why this
but
commission was.
see, and that's
together.
what I was, in my mind, back in my mind, I was thinking that, and that's why I put on the work plan,
Right,
that strategic plan outreach. Because,
Well, I'd like to hear from Mark and Cynthia next
well,
meeting.
if they're rolling it out before that.
It's starting next week.
Yeah, I know, I still wanna hear kind of
Oh,
what,
I do too,
what that is.
absolutely.
And as far as, the messaging points, those are gonna be going to all commissions, all boards. Basically money that they were starting to mail out.
so
So we'll
let's
have all
get
the
the
talking
date,
points.
hold on.
So, this next Monday, it's.
So on,
The letter gets mailed. People
Yeah.
receive it until, later in the week. but-
so on January the 22nd, letter gets mailed.
Can we get a copy of that letter? Just to see
Let
what
me
it's
ask,
getting,
let me ask.
please?
See, that's what,
This is, I feel like I'm in the dark.
I'm totally, I feel like I am too, David.
Yeah,
Because someone is gonna ask some questions, like if I take this to the friends of the library, I can hear several questions. And I can see me not being able to answer and not feeling confident.
How much do you think it changed since the draft that we saw passed
Is this
around?
a survey or the letter?
Just the survey itself.
I think you only saw page one of the
yeah,
survey.
we just saw page one.
Do you feel like it was pretty similar,
The,
in, you know,
the
to that
page,
draft?
the page you saw, I don't think is really changed. I mean, like a typo or something like that.
Sure, but I'm just saying, we haven't gone in any different direction from what, okay, great.
What I can do is, after the meeting, I will show you the current draft I have of the survey.
Cool, great, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, so let me get this correct now. January 22nd, letter gets mailed, and this is gonna go to households.
Mhm.
And it's gonna go to how many households?
660.
What?
660.
660. That's an interesting number. 660 households. And the way I understand it, you're hoping to get a response rate of 400 for,
Mark McAvoy mentioned last month, he hopes for around 450.
okay, it's 450. Yeah,
For some reason, I think that 435 was our lowest viable.
That's a high percentage,
and,
aggressive,
yeah,
very aggressive.
and that's why I believe we need the strategic plan, some type of a outreach plan, so that we can get that message. Now, is this gonna go in the splash at all?
Oh,
No, it only
it-
goes to
it-
those
it-
660, right?
Talking about
Or is it
survey?
gonna- or is it
No,
gonna be
I
The
mean,
messaging about it.
Yeah,
this is
there's-
all about the messaging.
We've got an article in the January Splash, got a picture in there with it. We'll be doing social media once the process starts next week. Probably something on the message board, the reader board. And then, as I said, the bullet points will be going to all commission board members, et cetera, to help, spread the word on that.
I really like to.
So outside of the 660, anybody can take the survey, right?
No,
No.
Yeah, it's just for select,
Just on the select, okay, that's
Yeah.
where I was a little confused.
and it's being randomized based on, street addresses, not by names, it just,
yeah,
Helps to
how do
know
you do the
start
randomization? That would be, I'd like to know a little bit more, because that could be a question. That could be,
How was it picked? Yeah, how was?
yeah,
They
how
chose it.
did you, yeah, how did you
it,
do that?
it is being randomized based on street address, not on names. That way we make sure we get all parts of the city represented. You know, we could have a whole street, if we were going by names, we could have a whole street that doesn't get selected.
Yeah.
This way we get all dots added to the mix.
Dude, got it again.
You know,
So
It's
you
kind of
went
like a
on,
Willy Wonka.
so you went on streets and you just say, can you just close your eye? Okay, I'll pick this street or.
I don't have the technicalities on how the randomization worked, but we do have the list.
I'd love to see a video from our mayor, or some key personality talking about the importance of filling out said survey. Like a little videos.
That's an interesting idea.
Well, remember, and on our budget, we actually put
Sure, I'm talking run and gun.
for
though.
video.
Yeah.
I'm talking just a little 30-second, do your part, and you can, you know, David, have fun, cut together different
Yeah.
people,
Well, that's pretty easy.
you know, right?
That's a good idea, yeah.
I just would like to see something moving and
I don't know if we, I
some person
mean,
attached to it.
can we get this done though? See, this is, okay, let's go back to the
Date,
outreach
yes.
program. Can we get this done in time? When is the deadline date?
We're,
Letters go out 22nd.
I think we're looking at, okay, 1 week after the letters go out, the survey goes out. Somewhere between 3 to 5 weeks after that, the reminder card goes out. And if necessary, there could even be a second reminder card.
Well, okay, okay, so January 22nd,
Letter, the initial letter.
the initial letter went out. So then how long do you wait until the second?
Okay,
Should it-
approximately-
I just
approximately-
don't understand when we did them.
It'll kick off a week later on the 29th,
So the 29th is the kickoff?
Approximately, yes.
approximately. Approximately 4 weeks after that, I'm just going for what David just said. 4 weeks after that, there will be a reminder letter sent out
For those who did not turn in.
for
the
those who
survey.
have not responded,
So that makes it February 26th.
with the possibility, maybe 2
Reminder
weeks
letter.
later, another letter,
If necessary.
if necessary. Okay, my question, who's paying for the mailing?
It's coming out of our budget.
It should be why. If we aren't, if this survey is not coming out of this
Yeah, that's a
commission,
good point,
it's coming out of the city, why should it come out of our budget for the mailing?
but I remember asking that question at the last meeting, whose budget, and I remember, Mark, the administrator said, well, it's out of yours, because that's what
We budgeted for it, because we specifically budgeted for this
But you have,
project.
if we're not
But
gonna
if
be.
we aren't being part of it, if it's being run by the city, why should it come out of our budget?
Well, I think
You see where I'm coming from? I know it's minor, but it
because
could be.
we were trying, our job was to get their answers the best way we could, and that was our, you know, that was our methodology for getting their questions answered, right? So they have these questions, the strategic plan that's constantly trying, it's different events and groups trying to answer these questions, these often, you know, putting people together and getting these answers, right? So we finally said, instead of getting no responses, we need to be mailing these to everybody. This is our version of outreach, and this was our suggestion, how we did it.
Okay,
And then I think that's how we budgeted for that, and they approved that budget. And then, you know, ultimately, we don't necessarily have control over the questions, although I think that there was room for input probably, but I think in general, we're pretty much on the same page with what those questions are, I think. That'd be my hot take.
and I'm gonna go back, I do want a copy of the survey. Before it goes out, so we're just gonna get a rough draft to us, so we're
And
good.
I can at least show it to you tonight. We're
Yeah,
not
that's
gonna,
fine.
we're not gonna give anybody any things to. keep.
No, don't send it out until we're approved, so.
Well, why wouldn't, I guess. So I am a little, I'm just confused here. And because I feel like the CEC again is sort of, we're supposed to go out here and do this and try and get people maybe to understand, but there's no plan. We weren't really quite engaged in on this. And,
We had no input at all, David.
They,
and we didn't.
the subcommittee.
Yeah, I would argue that hopefully Cynthia would have been speaking on that a little bit more
We
today
haven't-
on that.
Yeah, maybe that was.
Yes, but that's, I think,
But I think Cynthia only was for the mailing. Remember, she was for the
Sure.
Waltz mailing. I don't believe she was a part of the survey.
I don't-
She,
I don't
she was just
remember.
for trying to figure out statistically and the Waltz mailing thing.
Would you,
But-
again, I saw this as a project they have, our job was how do we engage the community with said project? If it was another project about something else, trailhead, something else, how are we gonna get people involved in that? So I'm with you about wanting to see what it is we're talking about and participating as much as possible. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
from the point of view of what we are trying to accomplish, I think our goal was to get people engaged, and our answer to that was it has to be mailed instead of just being online, it has to be mailed instead of just being surveys at one event type of thing. That's what I heard the ask to be for this
Okay.
particular project.
Aaron, do you have any input? We haven't heard from you yet.
You can give us a thumbs
I
up.
got really quiet.
Or a shrug.
No, yeah.
Can you hear me?
If you're speaking, I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Is there a chat feature on
Can you hear me at all?
Aaron, I'm not hearing your voice.
Awesome. Hold on. Just give me a sec.
there? Can you call one of our cell
I'm
phones?
on it right now.
Yes. Phone in. Phone a friend.
Yeah.
You can also
hear me?
type- Oh, there you go, there you go.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, you can hear me?
I can.
Okay. So as far as that survey, I mean, I guess as in the cost side of things, I would assume that would actually come out of our budget. I mean, so I understand, Mark, where you're coming from, but I think where the city probably took the stance of is it's part of community engagement, which is why it got dumped into our budget, which is why we're, in theory, quote unquote, is the commission paying for it. So, I mean, I'm not as worried about that. I think it's more so just trying to make sure that it's executed properly and on that, from the conversations that we've had in the past, it seems like Mark and Cynthia and, through the mailing process and everything else have a pretty good handle on it. So I guess until we see the final product and, once it's released, I mean, it's kind of a good first go and seeing what actually happens with it. So I guess that's my take as far as the cost side of things. I wouldn't stress too much about it. I think it's, I think it makes sense for it to come out of our budget, honestly.
Okay,
Was that all hearable?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
thanks, Aaron.
thanks, Aaron.
So, okay, I have to go back on the dates. February 26th is the first reminder letter. And then you're saying that there's gonna be another letter.
Possibly, it's just TBD, maybe 2
Okay.
weeks later, that's it.
I'm gonna put March 11th then.
And I wouldn't be too stuck on those dates,
I
specific
wouldn't
dates.
either.
I won't, but at least it gives us a general. So if we did what Summer had suggested, a video from
Mayor.
the mayor.
I'm thinking
That's an interesting idea.
I'm thinking a David Gaynor special, which I can pitch you a brief thing if you even need it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, just a, a little informative, perhaps funny little moment. That's it. Just a reminder, putting a face to it, just
Yeah.
being alive a little bit. And she can, address that it might or might not be conspiracy.
But I think that's a great idea. So where would you put that out then, David, in the?
We'll have to think, about it. I just heard the idea 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, but again, and I'm speaking to his typical,
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
yeah,
out.
but again,
That's my job.
yeah, each of his events and projects kind of go through a similar timeline. So I can see any number of places that you'll figure that out.
Okay,
So you're gonna give us some talking points then?
Yes.
Okay.
To clarify, yes, I'm setting up points to all commission members, board members, et cetera, probably Monday.
Okay, that's. Okay.
we were hoping to get the letter out this week and then it was looking like we would be mailing it towards the end of the week and we didn't like the idea of, you know, people having a weekend to kind of forget about this and lose it. So we're targeting the start of the week for next week.
And then we'll get to see the survey. When?
I'll show everybody a sample after the meeting. I've got one right here.
Okay. I just have to get all that clarified because that's, yeah. So we'll talk more, I guess, on that. We'll keep that sort of strategic plan community survey out there and talk about that again for the next meeting on February. I think that's,
By February, it should be almost a kind of a recap on
Yeah,
how it's going so
Yeah.
far.
yeah, we'll just get it, do an update.
That's fine, you'll have it on the next 3 months, or 2 months at least.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we have
Okay.
that update. Mhm.
I'm just excited that it's going,
Yes.
that there's some things being physically mailed.
Framework discussion, Aaron, anything to add? On your continued draft?
On the framework piece, no,
think-
I apologize. I don't have anything right now with the holiday and a couple of other things that popped up. So I'll have an update that'll provide prior to the next meeting. Unfortunately, the next meeting I won't be in person, and I will do my best to attend virtually, but I can't guarantee it right now. I know I'm going to be out that week, but I will have an update for you by then.
Okay. Thanks, Aaron. We'll put you on that agenda for February, tentatively.
Yeah, tentatively.
We'll just put you on tentatively. Okay, discussions in business, proposed change to geographic membership requirements. Is that something you think we could talk about now, or anybody's here, maybe table it? Or we can do an intro to that? We'll talk about it in February.
That's up to you. I can do it here, or I can do it in February, whatever you guys wanna do, you know, because it is, I do have a hand. So I would.
I feel like we should have everyone, since
Yep.
we're pretty much just talking about this group.
I think so.
Yep,
Okay,
I
Thanks.
can hold it.
okay.
Hey,
Table and
What-
continue.
Did you want to at least, this is your call. Would you want to share what your draft is at this point so people can consider it or table it till next month?
I would like to table it while everyone is here.
I think so too,
Yeah.
because otherwise we're gonna get to see it, the other people are not
Right,
gonna know,
right.
and then, and you know what, you're gonna have to repeat yourself again.
And I don't like repeating myself.
I know.
What's that?
He said it.
He's been a swamp. He didn't catch it.
So the 2024 work plan, so I started this and I went by different things we had talked about. For example, the workshop with the city council, looking at March and October now, and we do have the March 5th date confirmed. The framework final draft by Aaron, probably in January or February, we'll move that to February and March. Strategic plan outreach, we'll just, that'll be
That's
continued,
ongoing.
that's ongoing. The work plan and budget special session, that'll be in June. We will do that special session. How about we talk about it? None of us will know our schedules in June, but maybe talk about it in about April, you think?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep, let's do that. Discuss this talking about in April, finalize it in May.
sure, we'll discuss, yeah. So I know that Summer, you mentioned the binder for the farmer's market. I thought that was a good idea. And Bill did too.
Green, okay.
And Bill also was interested, so I put you guys' name down. on
Sounds great. We'll have a binder next week, or next month. That's great.
Perfect. And you can get with Bill. And then also,
They won't have anything in it, but they're green fine.
Plastic sleeves. Well, a lot of plastic sleeves. But you know what?
you could have a table of contents.
We could. Like, we can fill it.
Author by Somersville.
Yeah. Have a table of
We're
contents,
gonna have a signing ceremony.
and then I put, you know,
Or from
then-
March 7th.
we talked about the display things and having a little bit more organized for display things for the farmer's market.
You and I can work on that, Bob.
I see a question mark, I don't see a mark.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Question.
I did, I just put Robin in question mark, and that just meant whoever
That
would,
just meant Mark.
Is that right?
yeah, whoever would like to, and then we can present that, okay. And we will, we'll have something we can have something, some type of outline draft by next month, if not then, we'll do it in March, because we have until May for the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got on the next thing for the discussion items for the upcoming workshop with the city council. So this is the notes that I took. Remember our August city council meeting that we had? So I'd really like to have a detailed discussion on this in February. So we come with the city council with an organized, here's what we're going to talk about. Now, here are some examples. So I know that we can talk about the strategic plan survey and how I know council member Spencer was wanting the more statistical number of responses and how we made that to be more of a statistical analysis versus a community survey. We can look at newsletters, or I know that council member Renita Orman, she was on to reach every demographic, as what Annie Kurtz was talking about, and I think we could talk about some of the displays that we have that attract a now younger demographic. We can talk about how we just did our framework.
You know, I think this is a great outline and map, just the
Yes.
notes itself, and I think if on an upcoming meeting, we go through and literally just abbreviate our answers to each of these points, or the ones that are redundant, and go down the list and say, this was addressed by the mailers, this was addressed by this.
Right.
And so that because they seem like a very black and white group with their individual thoughts, right? So if we can just address them the same way they presented them, I think that would be good.
And we might
I think
have,
what it is,
we have two new council
Homework.
members.
Homework for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes,
To
So-
go through this and put our own thoughts down, and then everyone share them at our next meeting.
Right,
Good.
and then we have again, a sort of call and response to
Right.
this.
Right, right.
And then our new members, reach out to them and see if they
say,
have,
what do you think?
Yeah.
You know, this is what it was on August 15th, and new members, new council members.
Because there is two new council
Mhm.
members since this meeting, yeah.
Okay.
When someone referenced the term at an upcoming meeting, you're basically looking at next month's meeting. because
Yeah, February.
workshop is March.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and we would like to dedicate, I think we should, so we're organized by the March 5th meeting, a substantial amount of time to that.
Yeah, because I would say at our next meeting, Aaron may not have his framework ready, okay? I'm just, yeah, if he does, great, that'll be a quick discussion. My thing will be very quick, okay? I'm just letting you know. The update on the strategic planning shouldn't take much, okay? And I think that would leave us with a big focus on our city council workshop.
And, because then we can give them some salient facts and say, this is what we've done to
Yep.
address some of these.
Yep.
Yes, some of these need enhancement, and we are trying, and will continue to.
Oh, yeah, yeah. it's
Because we're not
TBD.
gonna be able to reach all of them, but we know that some need enhancement, and we are working on that, so, okay. Homework,
Well, I know you love hearing homework, so. think-
I do like to learn homework.
and do we want to, just answer what we have so far and the new members have them see that and just take it in as new members? Or do we want to see what their, input is and address that as well?
You mean
in this
members
batch.
to this?
No, to the, city council.
Well, I think we ought to just play by ear.
Yeah.
You know, okay, Linda, do you have any added,
Great, perfect,
Mike Kennedy, yeah, oh, she's giving out, keep him down,
sure,
but, yeah.
great.
So yeah, ask the new members, for their input
Yeah,
also.
yeah, for
Absolutely.
their input, great. What do you see this CEC and what does that mean to you?
Yep.
And where?
Good deal.
Okay, so I think they, we need to request an item for the agenda for February. Is there anything additional that we missed?
And I think we said it pretty, as we went through, we set it up pretty good.
Go ahead and state which ones are on there for sure, just to make sure I've got them as well.
So,
Okay,
go ahead.
okay, I got it right here. Strategic planning survey, okay? Framework discussion,
TBD.
the proposed geographic, membership requirement and blah, 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 blah. And then the, CEC, workshop,
City council.
city council workshop
Is work plan gonna be on there next month?
is what?
For work plan, I think we're just, yeah, why not put it on?
Throw it on there, we can.
You know what, I think we should leave that
Yeah.
on there
yeah, that's
because
fine.
it's an ongoing.
I think it should be on every agenda, frankly, even.
Oh, yeah, and
Even
then,
even if we just looked at it,
Yep.
yeah.
and then don't forget, Bill and Summer will give us an
The binder.
overview of the binder. Mark and I will give you an overview of some display items for the farmer's market.
Is that part of work plan?
It is.
Both of them?
Well, I was just thinking, we really don't have to have that until maybe March. Honestly,
Okay,
let's
but
not, because,
but
let's
because-
focus on this.
the most important thing in February, that we come prepared for the March city council.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
That's
We can
the
take that farmer's market stuff and wait
Yeah,
till March.
yeah.
So we don't need the green binder.
Okay.
Summer's binder.
So for next month's agenda, just cross up the date here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, thanks for the 2024 events.
And I will go through that and I will make phone calls and I'll find out if I can get as many dates as I can. I mean, because I think right now, one date I can give you right now, and that is, where you at? June, there you are. June 6th. Yep, June 6th.
Can I-
No, that's July.
I actually want to add something to next month,
June 8th is the Winter Globe Golf Tournament.
just potentially, we're throwing it out to our little forum here. I was hoping that we could go through this list, even briefly and with our own personal knowledge with what needs volunteers and start some sort of volunteer.
Oh, you're talking the event calendar?
Yes.
Yeah, sure,
So I was hoping to put that on a, agenda here,
sure.
before we're too far into our events. And, maybe that's I don't know, there's a million ways that discussion could go, but.
We'll put it on the 2024 work plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is to discuss volunteering.
Okay, and again, I just was specifically, even from our actual list that we have right here, a lot of these things need volunteers, and a lot of them could just be us out with outreach at farmers market type places saying, hey, do you want to sign up and be a volunteer to be called on for the X, Y, Z, and we dole it out appropriately, whatever that is. I just want to put that in our heads.
Yeah, and there's not an immediate rush to anything because the only February thing I've got on there is that library gardening thing, which I think is the day or two after this next meeting. And the library's got that covered. And then like a week later, there's the father-daughter dance, and that group's got that thing covered.
That's fine.
That's their own thing.
Then, find out when the Easter egg hunt is.
And again, more so than specifically those events needing the volunteers, I think just that ask is a way to market the things in general and outreach.
Right.
That's it.
I got some time to think on that, but that's a good consideration.
And we can, but I do want to keep February a large part of our discussion and our meeting on that to this city
Oh,
council
yeah.
meeting. So
Oh, yeah.
we,
That's
you know,
done,
and
yeah.
then we'll see how it, how much we table and continue.
And I'm thinking that may be one of the top items on the agenda.
It should be.
I would put that
Well,
up there.
In the strategic.
Yeah.
Survey stuff. Cool, man.
Okay, we have that. Next meeting is February 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. Don't see any issues with that.
Yeah.
And so we'll, if there's anything else for the good of the order. And
We're done.
if not, meeting's adjourned. Woo, thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron, thanks for logging in.
Thanks,
Bye, Aaron.
You made the meeting.
Bye, Aaron.